Wash over me. Let the grace. Let's open our service, dear ones. They just don't know what they have done giving me this gong. We might be gonging all service long. Also, to anyone who gets up here that talks for too long, other than me. Remember that show? Yeah. The Gong Show, right? Good morning, CSLSimiValley. How are you this morning? Good morning, online CSLSimiValley. Good to see you too. There is so much online spiritual content today. I am grateful for all of you who chose to come here in person. And those of you at home who chose to click on this particular site, because you can go everywhere. I was this morning in Denver, I was in Dallas, I was in the Unity of the Oaks, and Lakeshore Unity in Chicago, Unity Oaks in Austin, Texas, all before coming to church this morning. Why? Well, if I was at home, I'd watch 3 football games, so why not watch 5 or 6 services, right? It's a beautiful thing. But this is the place that I love to be a part of this loving community that is expanding and growing. Welcome to some of our new visitors and friends that are becoming regular. So grateful to see new faces and to see the older faces. The more familiar faces. Hey, let's face it, come on. Some of us are a little older. You know, with the exception of Evan over there in the corner, all of us are looking at the other side of life and going, what's coming up? But the beautiful thing is, what we really understand, and that's what's so wonderful about the Science of Mind teaching, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed into something else. That's why we believe in the eternality, the immortality of life, ever unfolding into higher and higher realms of consciousness. So I'm not even concerned about this thing called death or transition. I'm just going to live every day to its absolute fullest, because in the end, that's all there is today, right here, right now. How you feeling right now, right here, today? That's what I'm talking about. That's the way we do it at CSLSimiValley, under the tutelage and the protection of our spiritual law firm, Emerson, Hopkins & Holmes, right back there in the back of the room. So I just want to hold that for you. Well, let's talk about our vision and mission statement. Let's put it on the screen and let you read it with us, and all of you at home follow along with us. Here we go right now. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God. In gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do. Dear one, come on up here. Thank you. We pray.
Yeah, we pray. Oh, I love you all back. So good to be here. And hugs. Oh, hugs. They feel so good. I accept all hugs. All nationality hugs. That doesn't matter. I accept all hugs. Oh, just take a deep breath. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. We are so blessed to be here and be part of this community. So let's just come into this moment and know the truth. The truth that we all know in our heart, that God is all there is, that there's only one of us here. So wherever we are looking, we see ourselves, and we send ourselves love. I'm grateful for this community. I know the service today is perfect, that everything is smooth, and that whatever you hear today, you take with you. And let it uplift you, nourish you. We are so grateful for our music team, for the ushers, and for everyone here that contributes to this service. We are so grateful for knowing the truth that God is. And that is our mantra today. God is, I am. Say that with me. God is, I am, and so it is. Okay. My reading today is from Daily Om. And I get that on a daily basis, and it has a lot of really wonderful articles. And this one calls Create a Supportive Life Story. While we are on Earth, we are all human beings in different phases of our lives and self-development. We all have our own life story. It is filled with relationships and events that help shape who we are and what we believe to be true about our world. Depending on our perspective and willingness to grow, our experiences can become fodder for negativity or patterns of playing the victim, or you can fuel your life with empowerment and continued self-development. It is the story we tell ourselves about what happens that makes all the difference. Take a moment to look at a life story you create for yourself on an ongoing basis. If you generally feel peaceful about the past, trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, then you are framing circumstances in a manner that serves you well. On the other hand, if you retain a lot of guilt or resentment and often feel weighed down in life, you may want to start telling yourself a new version of your past and present moments. No matter who the characters are in your story or what they have done, you are the only one who can give the actions the meaning they have for you. By taking responsibility for your story, you are able to learn and grow, forgive and find compassion, and most importantly, move into a brighter future. From now on, you can choose a life story that supports you. Let it be proof of your resilience and creativity. Be kind with the roles you give yourself, and generous with how many chances you get to learn what you need to know. When you remember that you are the author of your own story, you are free to create a masterpiece. I'm going to say and read the affirmation first, and then I'm going to ask you to repeat it with me. Every part of my journey is useful and necessary to the evolving good which Spirit wants to express as my life. Nothing is wasted. Please say it with me. Every part of my journey is useful and necessary to the evolving good which Spirit wants to express as my life. Nothing is wasted.
We want to welcome Carrie Hillary, filling in for our music director, Sherry Dietz, today. We love having you here, Carrie.
Thank you.
Rock
Nice to
it.
be back. You've got a heavy heart, so I want you to know, though you've been ducking, the hardest of blows feels like you're sinking to the lowest of lows. Though it's hard to believe, if we just let things go, all good things will come. Let it flow. Your spirit's aching from pain dark and deep, and you've lost track of the nights that you couldn't sleep. We're miles apart, but I can still hear you weep. Though it's hard to believe, if we just let things go, all good things will come. Just let it flow, let it flow from deep in your heart. There's a new start every day. Just believe and follow your heart straight, 'cause your heart knows the way. We're fighting battles, and there's some we can't win. Each hard ending brings a place to begin. Keep on believing. Don't you ever things go. All good things will come. Just let it flow. I see the light that won't be dimmed by your tears, and I'll stand by you through your darkest of fears. Get you moving when you're grinding your gears. Though it's hard to believe, if we just let things go, all good things will come. Just let it flow, let it flow from deep in your heart. There's a new start every day. Just believe and follow your heart straight, 'cause your heart knows the way. Keep on believing, yeah. Though it's hard to believe, if we just let things go, all good things will come. Just let it flow. All good things will come. Let it flow.
It's that time for the gap meditation, God awareness place. And if you're not a meditator, it's okay. All you have to do is just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just relax. Put your feet on the floor. Take everything off your lap. And it's only 3 minutes. I'm going to ring the gong. And then Carrie will bring us out of the meditation. Okay, just breathe. Gary? Meditation is easy. All you have to do is breathe. And like the song we just heard, my mantra is, God is, I am. God in me, as me, as me. And if you say that while you're walking, that's a mini meditation because no other thoughts are going to be in your brain. It's a good way to stop the monkey mind. And you can do it for a minute, 3 minutes, whatever. Do it when you're at work, working from an office to an office. God is, I am. God in me, as me, as me. Say that with me. God is, I am. God in me, as me, as me. Namaste.
I'm like a ship far away from home, sailing through the icy wind. I am tossed and thrown on the roughest seas. I know that I'm not alone, 'cause it's all good. It's all good. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all good. That was your part. The road will twist and turn, and if I lose my way, I know each lesson that I learn will guide me on my way. The answers I seek live inside. I hear that small voice say, everybody with us, it's all good. It's all good. 'Cause it's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all good. I am reaching up, abandoning old schemes. Though this journey may be rough, there's more here than it seems. Each step brings me closer, knowing I can have my dreams. Everybody, it's all good. It's all good. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all good. Don't be shy, sing with us. It's all good. It's all good. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all God. It's all good.
Thank you, Carrie. Beautiful. Now, were all those songs your songs? Yes?
Actually, the meditation one was by Becca Palm.
But the
The
one
other
before,
ones
the
were
flow
mine.
song and this one, all good, it's all God?
Si, señor.
Wonderful. More music, more for that. Yes, indeed. It's all good, it's all God. God is the ultimate recycler. The great thing about this, though, is that because we are the co-expression of God, we are the co-creators with God, that means we're the ultimate recyclers as well. Now, that's a good thing because, you know, we all want this sustainability thing going on in the planet. And so the fact that we can be, any idea we have, any energy we have, we can recycle that energy into more good unfolding in the world is a wonderful thing. It's simple, but it ain't easy. Simple, but it's not easy. And I was looking at recycling. There are some challenges around recycling. I personally get I understand that we have a lot of competing interests and needs going on in the culture today, I spend the time to separate my recycling and to put it, not separate anymore, but to put, the recycling in our city, in LA, it's the blue can, and then you get the green stuff, and then the black can gets all the other trash stuff. We can talk about that at another time. But but there's so much complication with this recycling stuff between different cities. Like in LA, you can recycle all the plastics 1 through 7. In SEMI, you can't do 6 and 7. You know what I'm talking about, the little number on the bottom of your plastic container? Some plastics can't go in there. So you got to figure that all out, It's such a challenge to get all this stuff straight. And the other thing that's, you pay for the recycling, but then there are people that are challenged with their own ability to live in life, so they kind of go through and pull out all the really good stuff. So the city ends up not having anything to recycle, and then the recycling companies can't figure out what to do with all of it, and some of it actually sits on barges out in the ocean, floating around, trying to figure out where to take it, because suddenly China decided that they don't want to reprocess recycled goods. This whole thing is on the physical plane. It blows my mind. But on a reality side, there are people that are trying to help. Like at Spartans, it's football season. Spartans, anybody, what team is that, the Spartans college team? Michigan State. And they have something called the tailgaters parties, and they have these tailgating parties, and they just pile up. Because there's a bunch of people that go and collect the recycled cans after the tailgating. You go out to a Michigan stadium and you think, oh my God, these kids are just trashy, because they just pile up their tin cans all around their cars. But that's because the people that come and pick up the recycling don't want to go through the trash cans, so the college students just pile it up for them right outside the tailgate of the car. How cool is that, right? I love that idea. So there are ways to cooperate with this thing called recycling, but sometimes it's a little challenging. I remember when I was in college, we were just talking about that with our dear friends visiting from Texas when I was in college. And I went to Austin, UT, that's why I was down in Austin. And there's a place there called Lake Travis. I may have told you about these people before. We'd go out to Lake Travis, and every time I was out there was this young, this couple, not young, this elderly couple, that had trash bags with them, and he would walk up and down the lake, and he would pick up the trash. And after watching them for months, every time I go out there, they were there. And I walked up to the guy and says, why do you do this? But it was even more than that. He held out his wrist, and there was a tattooed number on his wrist. And he said, we survived, and we told ourselves that if we could make it through that we're going to make sure that whatever we do, every day of our lives, we do something better for the planet and for humanity. So they picked up trash every day because of that. I'm always touched when I think about this idea of recycling and reusing your energy, taking something that is bad has happened to you and turning that into something good. And that's what the ultimate recycler does for us. That's what the creative spirit is doing for us. See, spiritual life, the stream of life, is renewed every single day. There are some faith systems and some ancient wisdoms that actually believe that every time we go to bed at night, we die. And we travel off into the dream space. And then when we wake up in the morning, what's happened is our physical life tries to come back together, and then we reform and renew ourselves back into the bodies to have another day in this physical plane. There are some teachings that believe that. But the bottom line is that daily our life is being renewed. In the science of mind, Dr. Holmes says that the basis for which humankind is evolving is infinite. The basis from which humankind is evolving is infinite. Behind us is the great unknown, but not the great unknowable. Now that's part of this idea about diving in and connecting in with this ultimate recycler. Because behind us is this push, this life push, this life force, this desire to renew itself each and every day. It happens, Maggie was just talking about the breath, try to not breathe. Your body is constantly trying to renew itself. Its cells are trying to rebuild themselves such that depending on what part of the body it is, it's fresh and new with all new cells after 18 months to a few years, depending on whether it's bone or muscle or tissue, right? So this evolving infinite spirit that is behind us, is the great unknown, but it's not the great unknowable in that we have access to this knowledge through our intuitive spirit, through our intuition, through those moments of silence that we were dealing with just a minute ago. When we dive into that quiet place, there's something in us that rises up, an idea. It says, go in this direction. Try this out. Even with something as simple as cooking. Cooking a nice meal. You've made the same recipe for 20 years. And for some reason today it says, put in a little turmeric. Okay. Boom, you do it. Wow, that's wonderful. And it's kind of healthy. So these things happen to us because our soul, our energy, that thing, that wonderful thing that sings and soars and rings all the time, it's on an endless pathway of expansion, and our expansion of life brings us new and wonderful experiences on a regular basis. This is the simple truth. But it's not always easy to do this. But you see, there is something we are a part of. We are part of an unstoppable march toward our good. Behind evolution is this irresistible urge, compelling more to happen, compelling a better experience of life, compelling us to reach to a higher level of consciousness, compelling us to have a greater activity of each and every day of our waking hours and our sleeping hours. You know, when you think about it, if you're not on a news fast, if you're watching the news and you get up in the morning and you get out of bed, congratulations, because there's a lot of stuff in there that makes you just want to stay, pull the covers way up here, put a pillow over the top, and maybe knock yourself in the head so you will not wake up. It's rough out there, but we get up anyway, and we go anyway, even though we know there's going to be traffic, even though we know we might have a boss that's going to yell at us that day, even though we know we're going to a job where we think we're not getting the exact amount of remuneration for the job that we're doing, even though we get up and we do it anyway. There is something in us that is compelling us to do this, and that is the ultimate recycler. That is the ultimate energy within us that's saying, yeah, it was a bad day yesterday, but take that energy and renew it and bring it into a better day today. You know, there are these principles in life that are constantly unfolding in new ways. I mean, think about humankind. We started out walking around everywhere. And then somebody said, this is exhausting. They were so busy probably walking down a hill. This is my story how this happened. So they're walking down a hill, and the rocks are all around them, and they tripped over a rock, and it starts rolling, and they go, whoa, look at that. That rock has a little groove in it. Let me stick this stick in that groove and find another one like a stick in that groove. And okay, now I'm rolling down the hill. There's the wheel. Now we got the two sticks in it. And he says, well, this is kind of awkward. I think I need some balance. So he puts another couple sticks together, and boom. Oh, that's a cart. Now he's rolling down in a cart. This is really a lot of stuff. And I was noticing when I was making fire the other day that the energy, I could feel the air moving when the fire was going on. If I could put that fire in my cart and then harness that air moving, steam, oh, I'm in a locomotive. Now I'm in a train. Oh my goodness. Next thing you know, hey, if I could make that a little bit smaller, I'm in a car. This is cool. If I could keep doing this, maybe I'm in a spaceship. And then I can make millions and billions of dollars, and then any old Dick, Jeff, or Aaron, and what's his name, Elon, can fly out into space. This is the principle of locomotion taking place within our lives. This is the greater unfolding. This is the ultimate recycler working in our lives. We are part of that unstoppable march. Now, I do have an issue with the millions and billions of dollars it takes to get into space, but that's another story. The Science of Mind, where I get so much inspiration. Dr. Holmes was just powerful. He says that our individualized universe is forever complete. It's nice. See, the universe is forever complete. I get that. It's huge, it's infinite, and everything in infinity is everything, so it must be complete. I mean, that's just logical. How could you be infinity? How could you be infinite and be incomplete? Because that's infinity. Okay, that works. It's complete. Yet, forever completing itself. Wait a minute. It's complete, but it's forever completing itself. Oh, I get that, because we live on this physical plane where everything cannot be experienced all at one time. If you don't believe me, then how come you have a storage unit or a garage full of all kinds of stuff? It can't all fit into your house, right? So everything can't fit into the physical space at all time, right? So it's forever completing itself in order that every experience may teach us to transcend some previous one in ever-ascending cycles, upward bound. This is lovely. This is how the ultimate recycler works. Any experience you've had, if you're tired of it, grind it up into the power that it is and remake it into something new, because that's what's happening in ascending cycles, upward bound. You walk around nowadays and you know, we were all kids, we're watching Dick Tracy cartoons, reading them, and now we got a Dick Tracy watch on our wrist. We really do. That's that same thing. You know, we're walking around with pocket-sized computers. You know who grows the most tomatoes per acre in the world? The Netherlands. The Netherlands. They have mastered in-house hydroponic growing of tomatoes to the point where, even though they have like an amount of land size compared to China, they're number 3 in the world for importing tomatoes, right? This is that power. This is that ultimate recycler revealing itself and showing itself. And I'm so glad it's the Netherlands, and you guys know why. I'm proud to talk about the Netherlands. Yeah, but these are really interesting things when we think about what's available to us, how special we are. How special each and every one of us is, because we're tapped into this ultimate recycling energy within us that is constantly trying to renew itself at the higher levels of being. This is really cool. And it also means that everything that happens to our life, everything that happens in our experience, it's grist for the mill. It's all available for this. See, we can profit from every experience we ever have, good or bad. It doesn't matter. In fact, we're really called to take the best from every situation and accept that situation, and then look for the lesson that's within that, and then go boldly forward into our new lesson, into our new good. It's easy to be timid. It's easy to say, I don't know, not me. You know, to be Eeyore. Well, I don't know, Pooh. I don't think I can do that. It's terrible. But if you're Tigger, yeah, all right, let's get it on. That's life. That's where we are. That's where we get to be. We get to trust this power that's within us, and to trust it, and to bravely step forward into our future, to bravely move on into the greatness that we are. And when we do that, when we can take remember the fire rising up, when we can take the heat out of whatever experience we're going through, the challenges, the grind that happens, because sometimes those hard experiences, they're just, but that friction right there, that grind right there, when we can take the heat out of that and find a lesson, reveals the light. Reveals the light. Locomotion. I love trains. Life gets stressful. There's just no doubt about it. It's part of what happens. But you know, when you go to the gym, you do your workout, you're stressing muscles. You keep doing it and the muscles build up and you get stronger. Nothing wrong with stress. In fact, our stress is actually our road to freedom. Where we're feeling the stress, we dive into the stress, we dive into the heat, we dive into the pain of that stuff, and we recycle that, we reuse that, regenerate that energy, and we get that energy to light us into the light so we can move into our next good. Ernest Holmes says that this power for good uses every part of my human experience, every part of it, the joyous and the challenging, the pleasure and the pain, to guide me into a deeper awareness and knowingness of itself as me. See, I keep studying this thing called God, this thing called life. And the more I do, the more confused I become about what God is. Because it's knowing itself as me. You see, we are so important. everything in the universe is so important to the expression of God. Because without it, God is nothing. That's why some faiths say that faith is nothing. They talk about the great emptiness in Buddhism and Hinduism. They talk about the great emptiness, the know-nothingness. Because without the consciousness, without the awareness that we bring to life, without us using this energy over and over again and recycle it into new things, God cannot be more fully expressed. This infinite universe that is complete, that I talked about a minute ago, that is forever completing itself, must complete itself by means of us. You see? So if you back that up and you take us out of the component, out of the equation, God's like, darn, I'm not having a very good day today. I can't make anything happen. Where's my peeps? We are so important to this experience. This is the thing that gets you out of the bed. You may not recognize it, but I hope you will now. The thing that's getting you out of bed on that day is that you are itself. You are the divine that's saying, create, create, create. Do something. Except for day 7 when you get to rest on the Sabbath, right? There's power. And so everything that's happening is part of that grist for the mill. It means that in all things, be okay. In all things, be grateful. And in all things, be okay. Just be okay. Make some mistakes. It's all right. You see, success is essential. Mistakes are essential to success. If you don't make some mistakes, how are you going to know when you succeeded? Challenging situations are important in life. And if we don't challenge the situation will challenge us. We must dive into these moments. Reverend Blake was here this week, and he was talking about blue-collar spirituality. It was so fun to have him here. How many of you were here for us? He was awesome, wasn't he? We got to bring him back. And one of the stories he told was that the story of the good carpenter. What makes a good carpenter good is that he knows how to correct his mistakes. What makes us good experientials, good demonstrators of the Christ consciousness or the divine consciousness within us is that when we make mistakes, we can correct those mistakes. We can change our thinking and we can change our life. And the action, the secret to this is action. The secret to making the change is taking action. Yes, we can think. We can think, 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 but then we must act anyway. You know? Back to the food. You read a recipe, that looks really good. But the recipe just looks good. But it ain't going to do nothing to you until you cook it and eat it. You know? You got to take the action, you got to move forward. And in that, particularly this part, this is where the grace comes in again. Particularly this part. Namaste. This, you see, when we it's so frequent that we have a stumble along the way, and then suddenly all the voices that have been part of our life from childhood up, the teacher that said the wrong thing, the not so encouraging thing at one time or whatever, it starts to flood all into us, and we start to feel bad for ourselves. But this is the time. That's why I say, in all things be okay. In all things be grateful, but in all things be okay. There's a wonderful book I was reading. David Seabury wrote a book called The Art of Selfishness. And in The Art of Selfishness, he says, if you were the doer of wrong deeds, you won't learn better as long as you blush at your imperfections. We have our imperfections. That's okay. Smile at them. Take the energy out of them. Take the light out of them. And he also goes on to say, if you were the doer of wrong deeds, you won't learn better as long as you, we learn from past mistakes only when we keep confidence in the one who made them. That's so interesting. I wrote that twice over here. We learn from past, see, there's my mistake. I love it. It must mean that I really need to practice this top one. If you were the doer of wrong deeds, you won't learn better as long as you blush at your imperfections. Am I blushing? All right. We learn from past mistakes only when we keep confidence in the one who made them. I love that. Only as we keep confidence in ourselves right? I've told you about the kids in southwestern Africa in Tanzania. When you walk up to them and you say, "That's a lovely shirt," they go, thank you for noticing. They have confidence in themselves. It's not hubris. It's not ego. It's merely that they looked at it and said, "I want to put on that shirt because I like that shirt." And you noticed that shirt, and now you're in union about it, and they're just grateful that you noticed what they noticed as well, right? Yeah, they have confidence in themselves. Have that confidence, because there is a power in you that wants to have that confidence. There's a power in you that wants to do as Maya Angelou says, just rise. Still I rise. In that lovely poem, Still I Rise, one of the stanzas in it goes, just like the moons and like suns, with the certainty of ideas, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. That's what we get to do every day. Still rise as we dive into this. See, all of life, all of our life experiences, everything we do gets to go into the blue can, gets to go into the recycler can. And that way we can practice our connection to this divine understanding that's within us, that knows, that great knower that opens us up to the thing that appears to be unknown. You see, we all know more than we think we know. We all know more than we think we know. And the devastating things that happen in our lives, the really troubling stuff, the losses and the hurts and the pains, the transitions, they're here to produce texture. The unbearable opportunities in life, those unbearable challenges, they just usher in an opportunity to see the light. The unendurable activities, that just becomes the crucible to heat us up into our new good. And then we become a beacon to all. And that's the other part of it. See, we're so connected in all of this. We become a beacon to all. Dr. Holmes says, in God, nothing is wasted. All of my life experiences are used by the power of good, enabling me to help others and to bless the whole world. Everything that we do, because we are so interconnected, blesses everyone else that we participate in life, even if we don't think we know it. I told you about the guy at the bank, the young kid at the bank, who I was at an elementary school, and I walked up to the bank teller, and he says, you spoke at my elementary school. At which point I went, no, I didn't. You're a bank teller. I never spoke at your elementary school, but it turns out I did. And he says, you said something that changed my life. And he told me what it was, and I forgot what it was, and I don't even know what it was. It's not even important. The thing is that happens to all of us. We say something to somebody that may change their life, or we do something for someone that may change their life, and we never even know it. Like last week, I told you about the smile person who smiled, and there was no accident, and the person made it to the job interview, and then 4 years later hired that person for a job, but didn't even know they ever had an interchange. These things, we don't know how the mysteries of life connect us all together, which is why we should always do our best every single day. Put the smile on it and be grateful. Be the one that helps others and helps themselves. Put our faith in the ultimate recycler. And so it is. Okay, here's our affirmation for today. Every part of my journey is useful and necessary to the evolving good which Spirit wants to express as my life. Nothing is wasted. Hold this. Let that be your mantra for the week, along with Maggie's God is, I am. Nothing is wasted. And we hold that idea that nothing becomes wasted. Let's go into our revealing prayer. This is the moment when we understand that heart of that universe, it has everything in it, but then in our word, by our consciousness, we activate the power of the universe, and we bring an attractive energy into our world that puts that situation either at rest or into manifestation, as we say in our classes, into demonstration. If there is some condition in your life that you would like to see changed, or some person that you would like to see a blessing for, or anything for the world itself, if you want to put a little vibrational energy behind that and speak that into the room right now, even at home, if you want to put that into the chat on the Facebook or the YouTube chat channel, and then we'll pray that into existence right here and now together. So anything that you might have, just throw it out there. feeling that wash of faith come moving forward in that power of locomotion, that power of spiritual locomotion. Right here and now, I feel and sense and know the divine presence is fully active in each and every one of us. That we understand that we are part of the ultimate recycler. We are part of that energy that is constantly being renewed and lifted up to higher and higher expressions of life each and every day. And so by this word spoken here, I activate a power and a presence in our lives that allows the God itself to be made manifest by means of each and every one of us. By our activities in every day, we bring more love, we bring more peace, we bring more harmony, we bring more prosperity, we bring more abundance, we bring more healing and recovery into the world. There is something moving through us right now by this word spoken that says, yes, that is the direction I will go. Yes, this is where I will shine my light. Yes, this is where I will make my move. This is where I will do my duty, and I will do it in a way that is joyful, that is easy, that is graceful, that is fun, that is stressless. So feeling the power of the divine moving through each and every one of us and knowing that this power is activated by our very beingness, we say yes to the action that is impulsion taking place from this idea. We step into our conviction of these truths, and we allow ourselves to be a vehicle of the divine as we gratefully release this prayer into the law by affirming it with these wonderful words. And so it is. All right, Lane, you take over, darling. Our treasurer of the Board of Trustees.
Good morning. I just realized something amazing. Not yet, Kathy Bird. Just stand right there till I'm done talking.
This is my first time doing this in like 18 months.
And you're doing a great job. Anyway, I usually get up here and I say, hi, I'm Lane. I'm your treasurer. I'm going to talk to you. But I thought, what does that mean? What is that word? And I realized it's amazing. I'm, in whatever time I have this role, I'm the keeper of the treasure. I'm in charge of all the treasure. Oh my gosh, what an amazing feeling. And so, I want to share that feeling. And today, I'm going to make each and every one of you deputy treasurers, because you are in charge of this treasure that is our center, these words, this music, these people, our children, our learning. When you give or pass your hand over the basket, you are holding our treasure. So don't take this responsibility lightly, but with a great deal of joy. These are the ways that you can donate. Besides the basket, you can text, you can call, you can go online to our website, you can drop in the office, you can roll your wheelbarrow full of pennies, anything, whatever serves you. Just bring it on in, because it's part of you owning this place that is such a treasure to us. Now, you're going to be watching the announcements as we do the offering, and I just wanted to point out to you that this Wednesday night, Carrie Hillary is doing the Today service, and I hope you'll all be here for that. So before we begin our offering, let's say our affirmation of abundance together. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes, divine love adjusts, divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSLSimiValley now. Divine love is victorious. Thank you.
Oh, we are so blessed. And we've got a beautiful artist in our midst. She decorates her envelopes. Beautiful. Ah, we are so blessed. I am so grateful for all of this prosperity that we have. And knowing that with our online contributions and everybody that is giving today. And from this point forward, that our lives are enriched. That God works through us and gives us everything that we need. We are prosperous, and this community is prosperous. And we share everything that we have. We're grateful. Thank you, God, for everything that comes in. I release these words knowing that as we give, we receive. And together we say, and so it is.
Let's welcome Carrie Hillary back once again. Backup singers by the L's. Music accompaniment from the Soul Purpose Band.
Yeah, baby. Wherever the road takes me, I got to follow it along. See a brand new country, go singing my songs. Spread a little sunshine on these stormy seas. Wherever the road takes me, that's where I'll be. Wherever my heart leads me, well, I just got to go. It's a brand new country, it's another show. I don't know the reason, but I got to believe. Wherever my heart leads me, that's where I'll be. Wherever my life leads me, I'm gonna go with a smile. Share tears and laughter, all that makes life worthwhile. When I take a new road, I'm gonna travel in peace. Wherever my life leads me, that's where I'll be. Yeah, wherever my life leads me, that's where I'll be.
Wherever the road takes me, that's where I'll be. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Well, I want to thank you for your wonderful music today and our fantastic band and their singers. Thank you so much for your support. For Dee doing the slides today. Kathy Bird stepping into a new role and the usher role. And who else was with you? I saw Linda and Costa. All right, that's great. And Gregory's up there in the booth doing his thing. And Darlene's somewhere playing with football. She's not here this week, but she'll be back as soon as she can. So really, thanks all of you for your support and all the volunteer activities that are taking place that hold us together. And today will be wonderful on Wednesday. And you're going to stream that on our CSLSimi website? Is that how it's going to happen? Perfect, fantastic. So CSLSimi.org on Wednesday, and you can also see the Tizay for all of you that like to view from home, and then those of you who want to come here, it'll be happening right here. And there's something so special. Talk about texture. The texture of Tizay service when you're in the space is absolutely fantastic, so you want to be a part of that. Okay, and if you have any of you that are first-time visitors or just want to get a little more acquainted with what's going on, Karen, raise your hand. Karen Stelk will be available for you after service to give you any kind of information that you might want to know about our center. All right, something special is happening with the Cosmic Kids today, I understand. So here they are, Cosmic Kids, come on out.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, don't go too far, Reverend Stephen.
Uh-oh, I'm right here.
Okay. Today, as we only have one of our wonderful children here today, so I'm going to have to borrow some.
Wow.
I'm going to borrow some children.
Okay.
So my request is if I borrow you, you must leave your adult sitting in the chair and bring up your child.
I see.
Got that?
I see. So that means when you're volunteering right now, you have to like
I'm volunteering you.
Ooh, that kind of.
No,
right?
I'm volunteering you.
Oh, I'm being voluntold.
All right. I would like to have Kathy Burt,
Ooh,
John McLaughlin,
Big Daddy.
and Mary DiVincenzo.
Ah, hi, Mary.
And Lane Taylor and Lynn Maxon. I already got you. Okay, now, Emily, did we count right? Remember, you and I are 4. Did you count the rest to make sure we have 10? Good for us. We were manipulating all of this in the classroom.
All righty.
Okay, we're going to put this up in just a minute. I'm just going to plunk it on the floor for the moment. All right. So, what we're celebrating today, which actually happened on Tuesday, it was the 40th anniversary of the, yes, of course it is.
Prayer.
the International Day of Peace Prayer.
Yes.
Yes. And that's the United Nations 40th anniversary. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway, in the celebration, we have been giving you hints over the last about 6 weeks now. Mm-hmm. And our ushers are going to be coming around, and they're going to be giving you an opportunity to take something from a basket. And they're going to be doing that in just a minute. But first, I have to take care of this part, so these wonderful children that came up here to join us know what they're doing. So, first is Mary. Mary, where are you? Okay, there's Mary. And this one is yours. And Kathy. Sorry, I'm not talking on my mic.
I'm sorry.
And my back, pardon me. Because I didn't have you guys in the classroom, I couldn't have done it any other way. Would you like to give yours? Do you know who? And Kathy, I gave you yours. And this one, wait a minute. Nope, you have John. John, you get this one. See, we all know what we're doing.
Come on, children.
Yes, see, we have to pay attention, especially the teacher. And this says Kathy.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, this one here. And his card is that one right there. There you go. Don't you love this? Isn't this entertaining?
Okay.
Yes, we're here to entertain. And
Thank you
Lynn,
very much.
You'll get one in a second. There's your paper. Okay. And there's.
Put this on?
Yeah.
Oh,
And so everybody has a paper.
all right. So
We hope, and a bag. You can take out what's in your bag and put it on if you don't mind. I'll give you the
Choice.
story about this at the end. We'll give you the story at
Choice
the end.
gifts.
Sorry, thank you for your patience, guys. This is, I know,
This is fun. Okay.
I would have had this more organized if they were all back there, but I didn't. All right. So I am going to hand the microphones. On the bottom of your card, you see a number. Okay, that's the number in which you're going to read the statement.
This is like Southwest Airlines. I have a 5.
That's
5?
you.
Where-
You get to stay over here.
Oh,
Okay.
she said be a kid.
Well, and I told you you can stay over here. Do we like this? All right. the the reason for the celebration is we've heard the story many, many times. I don't know if you heard it as you were young, but I did, that it takes a village to raise a child. I know lots of people have heard that. Well, it takes a community to raise the consciousness of peace, which is who we are, a community, in order to do that. So you see some of our youth here, and just imagine all these guys about a few years younger. And in, in that, the aspect of that is the children of today are going to be our adults of tomorrow. They're going to continue what we show them. So the aspects of what you're going to be given today, is that it leads us into the giving back to the kids, to the children, whether your grandkids, cousins. You know, I'm sure there's aunts and uncles and all those people here that have little ones at home or somewhere in their families. And by our behavior and who we are, it teaches them of what peace looks like. So that's our charge. So what we have done is we are going to give you some wishes. This is what we wish for our adults of today and our children of tomorrow. And we are going to start with Emily.
My card says, "We wish you more ups than downs."
Who has number 2?
We wish you more give than takes.
We wish you more tippy toes than deep water.
We wish you more us than just you.
We wish you more hugs than Uggs.
We wish you more wahoos than woos.
Now we go down to Lane.
We wish you more will than hills to climb.
We wish you more can than not.
All right. We wish you more pause than fast forward. And our final wish. We wish you more treasures than pockets. Ready to get that one?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm going to read this because, anyway. We wish each one of you this because we are all part of the puzzle that makes up the whole. And you want to go ahead and start the basket? And, she's going to do that. Okay, great. So, as we were offering our wishes, the ushers are going to be passing out the baskets that you get to choose your gift. The gift for each one of you has some of the words in which we have used over the last 4 to 6 weeks. You'll find those words. And on the back of the puzzle piece, you will find a quote from Ernest Holmes that says, "Peace is the power at the heart of God." Now, I'm going to give you a little history while you're getting your gift, is that these puzzle pieces have been created off and on for the last 15 years. So, the one that you have in your hand could have been done by a child that was 5, 6, or 7 at that point in time. So you have their energy, their love, and their time and talents in those puzzle pieces. We've used the puzzle piece many times in lots of ways in which we share with the boys and girls of how we're each unique, we're each different, we each hold energy and power, and when we put our pieces together, we cannot lose. We can be that peace that we want the world to be, simply by being it ourselves. So we wish you the love and the light and the peace that's on the cards, on the puzzle pieces, and on the hands that have made those over all these years.
Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah.
As you can tell, I never throw anything away. All right. And we have one more unveiling to do. So if you grab that for me and stretch it out. And this is the road to peace that we have been using. These are the words that we've been putting on the road. And it said to peace. Well, we know that always being in the future makes it hard for it to happen in the moment. So this is the road of peace.
Nice.
So,
thank you.
Thank you very much for being here and sharing that. And thank you, children, for being such great kids.
I'm wondering right now, what song are you guys have in the deck for the end of the service today?
I release.
Is it possible? Do you have the peace song? Could you pull that out? Is that too fast? Yeah, let there be peace.
I'm going to have it in a different key, probably.
Yeah. No, you didn't. It's me confusing them because that's what I do. I change stuff up at the last minute. That's the child in me.
Nice job, Rev.
Yeah, well, while they're looking, and if they can't, we'll do I release because we released anything that's not peace. We can make that work. In the meantime, we will stand and do our closing benediction, which is, I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. And yeah, you do? Nice. Now you won't have the words because we don't have that. That's okay. But you know the words.